What's up? How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How are you? Sorry, I'm a little bit late. We had some crazy breaking news that just happened here. So thanks for having me on.
Always, man. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Off the Dome, episode number 5. I'm with Brandon Brown, James Lynch. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me. It's good to catch up with you. I know we've been trying to do this for a while, but it's been a busy couple of weeks in the world of MMA. But thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, a lot of breaking news this morning, man. What happened?
So we had Corey Anderson signing with Bellator, which was a little bit surprising because he was under contract with the UFC for a couple fights, and then he ended up, I guess just asking for his release. So he got into that. And then we just saw now that Cody Garbrandt's going to be fighting for the flyweight title against champion Davison Figueiredo, and Valentina Shevchenko is going to be fighting Jennifer Maia for the defending her flyweight title as well at UFC 255. So yeah, a lot going on this morning.
Yeah, I thought Alex Perez was honestly going to get that next title shot. I didn't think Garbrandt was going to get it right away.
Yeah, it just goes to the power of good management, I guess. He's with Dominance MMA. They seem to get a lot of the matchups they want for their clients. But yeah, a bit surprising. I just did a video of this on my channel, just explaining why I don't think Garbrandt should get the title shot basically not having any wins at 125.
So with Corey Anderson, he was ranked number 4 or number 5. I think it was number 5. Why did he say why he left, or it was just weird? It was weird time.
Yeah, I'm going to check right now and see sort of what's going on here. Let's see. I'm just checking the old Twitter to see if there's any sort of update on why he decided to leave. I mean, I get it to a certain degree because he had just lost his last fight. Light heavyweight title's not getting defended. As far as that goes. So yeah, I mean, Corey was kind of in a weird spot where he wasn't going to be, fighting any contenders anytime soon. And if he goes to Bellator, there just aren't a ton of contenders over there. So he could fight for the title very soon. I know Ryan Bader, their champion, is going to be fighting someone shortly. But yeah, it doesn't say why. It just says that according to multiple sources, he was asking for his release and now he's left.
It's crazy. He just had a minute in everything, man. So how do you feel about Davison Figueiredo and Cody Garbrandt? How do you feel about that matchup? And who do you think is going to win?
I don't like the matchup. I don't think it's fair to the other flyweights in the division who have actually been working their way up. I could see if Garbrandt was the bantamweight champion and he wanted to come down and unify the titles because at least he has some clout from that perspective. But he's not. He lost 3 of his last 4 fights. He won his last fight against Rafael Sunsao. But it's very rare to see, someone that doesn't hold the title move down and get an automatic title shot. I don't like that. So I think it's unfair to the other flyweights in the division. And I feel like it's not going to go well for Cody Garbrandt because he's already got chin issues. He's been knocked out, like I said, in all 3 of those losses that I mentioned. He's fighting a guy who has a lot of knockout power. Davison Figueiredo just knocked out Joseph Benavidez. He knocked him out the fight before. Here's a guy that does pack a punch. I don't know. And you add in the weight cut, which always, as we know, makes people a little bit more susceptible to getting knocked out when you're cutting more weight. So in my opinion, I think Figueiredo is going to win that fight. I don't think it's going to go well for Cody Garbrandt.
Okay, the last time we talked on UFC Talk, my other podcast, you said Israel Adesanya, Paulo Costa, you have Izzy. How confident do you feel about that with that match coming next month?
I think it's that's a great fight. I do like Adesanya in that fight, even though Costa's been on quite the roll lately as far as his last couple fights. In general, I think that it's really 2 of the best in the world going toe to toe. Costa's undefeated. Adesanya had a really bad fight in his last win over Yoel Romero, so he's got to go out there and put a good performance on. But I think it's going to be a close fight, but I think it will be exciting. I don't think it'll be what you saw with Romero and Adesanya. I think these 2 guys will stand and trade, and I do see Adesanya getting the better of it, him being patient, being a little bit more technical than Paulo Costa in that fight.
Okay, you said you have been very busy with MMA lately. How have you been spending your time off, especially with quarantine? I think it's better in Canada, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're in phase 3 here where I live in Vancouver. So like the gyms are open and everything. So it hasn't really impacted me that much other than not being able to leave the country. Like we can't travel to the US or anything. But no, I've been keeping really busy. Since the last time we talked, I'm no longer with the Score. I've been doing my own thing. I'm now a full-time freelancer. So I'm working for about 10 different companies right now, just doing interviews and breakdowns and writing and things like that. And it's been super busy. I'm more busy than I've been in a long time. And it's fine by me because I love doing this. So I haven't been missing a beat at all.
Yeah, after you left the sport, it got really hectic for a minute.
Yeah, it was unexpected. You know, they just decided they didn't want to, you know, commit to producing any more video content. So they basically eliminated my position. I wasn't technically fired. They just decided to not continue my position on, which is, you know, fair to them. They run a business, I don't. So yeah, it was just a matter of you know, once I was basically the day I was let go, I already started reaching out to other companies and I was able to get work right away. So I've been pretty lucky in that sense. But I've been keeping busy. It's been great.
You have any TV shows that are must watch right now? Last time I talked to you, you said Billions. I watched it. I liked it. Any more out there?
Yeah, I'm not watching much these days. There isn't a lot going on. Now that we got sports back, especially like hockey's going on right now. I'm a Vancouver Canucks fan. They just won last night. So I've been watching a lot more sports and obviously watching the UFC as well. We have Dana White's Contender Series back, so I've been watching that. But as far as like actual like TV shows, I haven't really gotten into anything since Billions ended, and there's been a few other shows that wrap their seasons up. So yeah, I've just been basically watching a lot of sports.
Yeah, let's get Brandon up in this discussion. What are your coins to watch? What are your top TV shows?
Mine are Netflix shows. So one is directed by Jason Bateman called Ozark.
Oh yeah, I've watched that. That's a great show. Yeah, I love that show.
It's very intense, fast paced, and you know you can really sit down and enjoy it. Like I binge watched it from first season to third. Now I'm just waiting on the fourth. I told this guy about it, and you know he's been failing to watch.
Hey, I'm finally on season 3 now.
Yeah, it's. I was gonna say there's a lot of that's one good thing with Netflix is like you can find all these new shows and really binge on them and get into them. And I'm sure there's a ton I haven't discovered yet, but Netflix does a pretty good job with that.
There's a couple other shows like On My Block and 13 Reasons Why, which are like teen drama shows, like Riverdale. You know, I'm not really into much, teen drama and stuff like that, but they really serve, like they really satisfy sometimes. They're really like 13 Reasons Why really hit home and really hit deep for a lot of people.
Yeah, I watched the first season of that show, and then I tried watching the second season of it, and I just couldn't get into it. It's a really obviously very heavy show, very goes into a lot of issues that teenagers obviously go through and stuff. And I thought it was well produced, but yeah, it's a bit of a downer. I honestly like watching shows that are a little bit more uplifting. So I tried getting into the second season, and I was just like, I'm good. So that's where I'm at now with that show.
Two was kind of a drop off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
There's a show called The Boys on Amazon. It's about, like superheroes that are like real superheroes, not like, Superman, and they're like realistic. They have egos, and.
Have you seen The Boys?
I've heard of it. That is one that was on my list of shows to watch. So I've heard a lot of good things about it. And you're like the fifth person who's told me about it. So I got to get on it, man. You're giving me something to do here this weekend. I got to check it out.
So yeah, I saw it because that was one of my must-watch. Season 2 for the Okay, James, Marvel or DC?
Marvel or DC? I'm not a big comic book guy, but I'll go Marvel because they do. Which one does X-Men? It's Marvel, right?
Marvel.
Yeah. So that's what I grew up watching. I used to watch the X-Men cartoon back in the day.
So who's your favorite Marvel character?
Wolverine.
Any specific reason you like him?
Because I used to play him in that old. I'm pretty sure I'm older than you, but back in the day they used to have the X-Men arcade game, and Wolverine was always my character on that game. So that's why I'm sticking with him. Plus he just looks cool with like this, the swords coming out of his hands and stuff. It looks pretty awesome.
He's very badass looking. I will give him that. I tried to mimic him. I used to have gloves. I used to stick pins in the knuckles so I could try to mimic him and be cool.
Nice. We got that in common. I actually went as Wolverine for Halloween one year. This was like maybe 5 years ago. So because I spiked up my hair and everything, it looked really cool. So yeah, Wolverine's awesome.
You seen the movie Logan?
I haven't. Again, I got to get up on these movies. I've got to watch it, but I heard it was great.
It was good. What is your favorite Marvel movie?
I couldn't tell you honestly. I haven't. I'm not a big movie guy. Like I haven't watched like a lot of newer movies. Like I haven't even like. I'll be honest, and this is gonna sound so bad, but like I haven't been to the movie theater in probably like 2 years. It's been a while because I got my son. It's usually like I have to get someone to watch him, and then my wife and I would have to go and stuff. So I haven't been in a while. So I'm not giving you a good answer here, unfortunately.
Okay. You said your favorite superhero is Wolverine. Do you have a favorite superhero on DC side?
Is Superman DC? Maybe I'll go with him.
Brandon, do you have a favorite DC superhero?
DC would probably be Batman because he's a real person. He doesn't
Right.
have like
I can respect that. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go Flash. Brandon, what's your favorite Marvel superhero?
my Marvel superhero, probably like Doctor Strange. I've always admired him. Like I played that Ultimate Alliance game when I was younger, and it was like Doctor Strange because he really stood out to me. I always liked him. And then the movie also went in and showed me he's like he has so much power at his hands, and he's just like he had surgical powers at his hands that he took advantage of, and he just he felt like he was high and mighty, and boom, he wasn't good anymore. And then he came back and became a better person in a different way. And, he made a big change to himself, which is really I can admire that.
I'm gonna go Hawkeye. I've always been a big Hawkeye fan, but Doctor Strange, that is my ultimate favorite movie. Okay, so James, I believe the hottest game of the summer, UFC 4 is coming out. How do you feel about the fighters and hearing a lot of negativity towards the rankings?
Yeah, I think like they had Dustin Poirier ranked really low or something. I haven't actually dug into that too much. I don't even have I haven't even downloaded the demo or anything. I got to get up on all that stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of complaints. And the one thing you got to know if you're going to do anything with the UFC, the fans are going to come for blood if they're not happy about something. So I've been hearing a lot of bad things about it. But I remember I bought the very first UFC game when it came out like years ago, and it was pretty good. And they've done some really cool things with it, but they got to fix the rankings on there. Yeah, you can't have Dustin Poirier ranked number 45 or whatever he was.
Yeah, their rankings are pretty. Like Derek Lewis wasn't even in the top 50. It was pretty
crazy. Who's doing these things? It's crazy. They should like survey the fighters or something. They got to figure that out.
Speaking of Derek Lewis, how do you feel about him in his main event this weekend against Alexi?
Tomorrow night, I'm picking him by knockout. I think he gets it done. I think the Black Beast gets a finish finally. His last two fights have gone the distance. I think we're going to see a really good performance from him. LYNCH legit, though, man. He came off a nice win in his last fight over Fabricio Verdum, the former heavyweight champion. Looked amazing in that fight. But, it's when you're fighting a guy like Lewis who has the knockout power he does, I just don't see it going well for LYNCH. LYNCH's only way to win this fight is if he can get Lewis to the ground and submit him. And I don't think Lewis will do that. I think he's lost some weight. He's a little bit more mobile. I think he'll keep the fight standing. And when he does, he's going to knock Alexi LYNCH out. And I see him, getting the knockout in this one.
He was talking about his strength training and losing his weight, and his cardio it's better. He looks in better shape. That fight against Terra Lucici, he looked amazing.
He did, yeah. He looked great.
Okay, James, what is your favorite food?
Favorite food? That's a great question. Probably, I like a good cooked steak. I don't think there's anything better in the world than a good cooked steak, like medium rare. Good beef, nothing like store-bought, like something really tasty on like a nice hot summer day. Nothing's better than a good steak.
Okay, you have a son. How is it? Are you scared? Do you get nervous? Or is everything good?
Scared about what? Sorry, you cut out for a second there. What were you saying?
How is it being a father? Like, is it harder than you thought?
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome, especially now because my son's going to be 3 in a couple weeks, and he's at that age now where like he's got a personality and everything. I mean, at first, of course, it's a little bit scary because it's not like you can take all the parenting classes you want until you actually do it and you're in sort of the thick of it. It's a totally different animal, but no, it's awesome, man. Like to have like someone that you get to take care of and see them grow up and get to do all this fun stuff with them. It's one of the best experiences in life. It's awesome. I love it.
So who's your all-time favorite athlete? Whatever sport, favorite athlete.
That's a great question. You know what? I might actually go with a hockey answer here. I would go with Alexander Ovechkin. If you know him, he plays for the Washington Capitals. He's just unreal. Like, his conditioning's crazy. He's just so entertaining on the ice. He can do it all. He can fight. He can shoot. He's always been like someone I've really enjoyed watching him anytime he's playing on the ice.
And another question. I don't know if you're in tune with the NBA and you keep up on it, but
yeah, I'd say I'm a casual NBA fan. You know, I had my heart broken twice. I should tell you guys about this. So I grew up in Vancouver. I still live in Vancouver, but we lost the Grizzlies, as you guys know. And then when the Grizzlies left, I was like, okay, well, we're going to root for the Seattle Supersonics. And then they moved. So imagine being me, where you're growing up and both your teams move. It was heartbreaking. So I do still pay attention to it. You know, like the Raptors winning, a lot of people are like, that's Canada's team and stuff. That was cool, but I don't feel like a strong connection to the Raptors like a lot of the other Canadians do. But it was still cool to see them win the championship.
Oh yeah, no, it's shocking to see the Raptors win comparing to the Lakers. But I mean, everybody likes to hype up this guy named LeBron, and that's the topic. It's LeBron or this guy that we know as Michael Jordan, the GOAT.
Michael Jordan's the GOAT. He played in a tougher era. I'm going to go with Jordan as the GOAT.
Okay. So do you think it's the rings that prove it, or is it like the all-time struggle that he had to come up through?
It's everything. Like, he played in an era where people were like like you just watch those games and how brutal they were. Like, if you watch the Jordan ESPN documentary, like how the Pistons just like, you know, manhandled him around, and he was able to adjust and he was able to get the right pieces, and he was making the guys around him better. Like, look at how much better Dennis Rodman was when he left the Pistons and the Spurs to go play for the Bulls, or Scottie Pippen. Like, you know, when those guys left the Bulls, like Pippen and Rodman, like they couldn't replicate that same success. I know Rodman did have, you know, a stint with the Lakers, but I thought in general, MJ just he really just did so much for what he was given, and like for how little he was given, I should say. And to me, I think he's better. I know it's a controversial topic to say that, but I don't know. I've been so impressed with Jordan. And you think of too, like Jordan was out late gambling, and he was still going out there and winning games. I mean, yeah, that into the mix as well. The guy's a legend.
While we're talking about the NBA, I want to get your thoughts. Who do you think's better, Steph Curry or James Harden?
I'll go Curry. Curry's like a video game, man. Like, that guy can shoot threes like it's just like you're on like cheat mode or something. That guy's amazing. Harden's awesome too, but I'm more a Curry guy myself.
Have you watched the basketball game since it came back?
I've tried to watch a little bit of it. I don't know. Actually get your guys' opinion on this. Do you find it's harder to watch basketball now without the crowds and everything else? Like, I feel like having the crowds is such a big part of basketball when you're watching, like, you know, everything. It almost feels like they're playing like, I don't know, like internationally or something. It just doesn't, I can't get into it as much. Plus hockey's on too, so I got to pick and choose.
Yeah, no, basketball is really dead without the crowd. Like, the 2K games are even more alive now than the real life games that are happening in reality. It's hard to believe that we can't, like baseball stadiums are empty, and it's sad. I don't want to live in this era.
Yeah, no, I agree. I totally agree with that. As far as like the crowds not being there, like with hockey, it's like, I guess it's tolerable because like they're behind glass anyways, the crowd. I mean, it certainly makes a difference, but I don't know. I'm used to, I can watch hockey more and get more into it than say like basketball just seems totally flat to me now. I don't know what it is. It's crazy.
But I noticed that the WWE, they have like some people in their crowd. So it's kind of it kind of confuses me.
Yeah, that's it's crazy that like I don't know what you can do. I mean, like I guess with wrestling, mind you, wrestling's always been sort of at the forefront, pro wrestling that is, about like production. Like they've always had that like down to a T. Like their shows are huge. Like you compare their production to like the UFC, it's not even close. The WWE pulls out all the stops for all their shows. It's really cool.
Yeah, no crowd is weird. UFC, it just makes it more violent. Gaethje versus Ferguson, I was fucking losing my mind hearing just Gaethje just connecting. Baseball has been a little weird. It's just, I don't know, it's just weird times.
It is. I'm not a huge baseball guy anyways. Like actually when I lived in Toronto, I used to live right next to the stadium and I'd go to games every now and then. But I don't know, to me, when you've got sports like hockey or stuff that's just more like, you know, UFC, there's just way more action. Like playoff baseball is cool, but like regular season baseball, it's like, you know, you have a couple drinks, you're kind of just, it's not as enjoyable to me to follow and pay attention to, in my opinion. But maybe it's because I'm Canadian as well. I know Americans are way more into baseball.
Okay, we're gonna end the show with some fast questions.
Let's do it.
Are you wanting to watch the most? Gaethje, Khabib, Stipe, DC, Adesanya, Costa.
That's a tough question. You know what? I'm actually going to go with Stipe in DC because that has way more on the line, I think, than any of those other fights, even though Khabib, potentially losing his first fight or, defending his title. But literally next Saturday, we're going to find out who the best heavyweight of all time is. It's literally going to be decided in this fight because if DC wins, he gets all of Stipe's thunder. He's defeated him twice. He's going to retire, go off into the sunset. If Stipe wins, he silences all the haters. He's by far the best heavyweight of all time, especially if he avenges a loss to a guy he lost to, a couple years ago. So I think as far as significance and just the overall, like what it means in the landscape of MMA history, next weekend's fight's by far the most intriguing.
Had an amazing interview with Stipe. How many more times do you think he fights after this fight?
Yeah, he told me it was going to. He says win or lose, he's going to continue to fight after. So that's great news because I think he still can compete at a high level. And he's, we see some guys hold on a little bit too long, but it's not like Stipe's taking a ton of damage either. I think let him keep fighting if he can compete at a high level.
Okay, thank you, James. We're going to end the interview on that note. Thank you for joining the show, man.
Thank you guys for having me. Always enjoy talking to you, man. Your audience can check me out on Twitter at Lynch on Sports. Same thing on Instagram. And appreciate the time, guys. I know took a bit to set this up on my end because I'm always busy, but thanks so much for having me.
Always, we're going to have you on again soon. We're going to leave his Twitter and our YouTube under there.
Awesome.
It was a pleasure. Nice stuff.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a good day. See ya.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? You just heard our interview with James Lynch. I'm Jakaiece and co-host Brandon Brown's here. UFC Off the Dome, episode 5. What's up, Brandon?
Nothing, just living, It was a nice interview. Got to learn some things about the man, not just about his job, but about him as a person. There's nothing better than learning people.
Great mindset. He knows a lot about UFC and hockey. He knew more about basketball than I thought he did. He said Michael was the GOAT.
I think Michael is iconic, but I don't know, the GOAT, one day, maybe.
One day. Okay, so we were talking about the UFC. You didn't get too much into that, but there is one person that everybody knows, Conor McGregor. Who is he to you? As a casual, I'd say you're a casual fan. What do you think of him?
He's okay. I mean, he's okay.
He's okay.
I mean, I've seen him knock people out, and then I've seen him, put niggas in submissions. So it's nothing out the ordinary. That's what they do in the MMA. But I mean,
is he the biggest fighter to you?
You said what? No. But I'd like to see him and Mayweather get in the octagon since McGregor got in the ring.
Who's the biggest UFC star to you?
Shit, fucking. I don't know. As I'd probably say, fucking. What's his name? Shit.
John Jones?
Yeah, no. Probably Tyron Woodley.
Tyron.
He's one of my top 5. He's not the biggest star, but he's one of the few people I can think of. He's really like up there because he did that rap and it was just so hilarious. I was like, damn.
Tyron Woodley, I don't think he's number 5 in this division now.
I mean, that counts for something.
Not the champ anymore.
Oh yeah, you're a hoe.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into some of these topics. Car guy or shoe guy? Which one are you? If you were either.
I mean, both. I like a nice pair of shoes. I don't like wearing shoes. Like, I don't like wearing them outside because you just fuck them up. But, I don't, if I get a nice car, I don't want to drive it because you'll fuck it up. But, I mean,
I would say car for me. Man, cars are so fucking nice.
Yeah, cars are nice, but they're too expensive and you really got to maintain them.
Should we trust the government?
What you mean? Should we trust the government? That's a federal-ass question.
Oh, that's a federal.
I don't know what you're trying to get me to say, bro.
Bro, I might just be wearing a wire, bro. You never know.
Yeah, you're right. I never know.
Bro, are you in the game?
No, bro, I don't do that type of
Are
stuff.
you selling some crack, maybe? But like say close to me.
Whoa, I'm tripping.
Small crackhead, yeah, that's me.
No, I mean, trusting the government, I guess we kind of have to do, because it's like we don't, then they can, like, fuck us up.
It would suck to live under a fucking dictator, bro.
I don't know.
Like, these motherfuckers think Donald Trump's a dictator. They ain't seen shit.
Man, you just don't want to do that.
Shit's just fucking crazy. Are you ready for the aliens to take over the shit?
Shoot. I mean, yeah. At this point, we ain't got much to look forward to. I'm pretty sure we're not going to make it past 2020. 2020 is going to be the last year.
Well, so many people are ruining their 2020s. Let's start with Ellen. What the fuck?
No, it's not 2020. That's way before 2020. It's just now coming out.
Bro, I heard some shit about her.
Terrible person. I mean, I'm not going to down her, but I don't know her. But, I mean, she be putting on a facade that makes her look like she's all nice and goody two-shoes to everybody. But then she's kind of aggressive. And, you know, I don't appreciate, like, I feel like we all equal. We keep treat each other, you know, decently. Like, you know, if you somebody boss, you can talk shit to them. And you're going to expect them to not talk shit back because they want their job. And, you know, it's kind of, you know, if I was a manager, it's like, shit, if I talk shit to you, talk shit back. Like, we're people. We need to communicate, right? So, I mean, it's only fair. You can't be dogging people. Like, fuck your sensitive ass nose.
Dumb before you like that to it.
Sensitive ass nose. What's wrong with you? Everybody got snake breath every now and then, bitch. You just don't want to deal with it. You ain't special.
But then her breath stinks the most.
Like, she's a cunt in my eyes. Like, I'm not really into disrespecting women, but she's really not a great person from what all I've seen.
Shitty.
Like, she's not even helping her crew. Like, they're losing a 60% cut in pay. What? Motherfucker. Right now is the time when everybody needs money the most. Like,
y'all got Nick Cannon canceled, bro. She can get canceled.
I mean, yeah, Nick Cannon just be talking too damn much. He be talking about shit. He need to stop. He be saying shit. I don't think he knows completely. Like, he be reading biased text. When you read biased text, you get biased thoughts and shit. You don't get factual evidence. Like, I mean, that's why I don't really fall into, like, religious books. Because when you fall into religious books, you're reading another man's interpretation of some shit. You're not reading an autobiography. You're not reading a man that wrote about himself or a biography where somebody wrote about him. I mean, that's what they try to depict it as, but it's not quite that.
Okay. Something I really wanted to talk to you about was this interview me and you watched. Snoop Dogg saying why Eminem wasn't in his top 10.
That nigga is foul. Boy. I mean, that's fine. We're all, we have the right to an opinion, but don't speak your opinion. Like, we all have an asshole and we all have an opinion. You don't open your asshole for just everybody, so you shouldn't just put your opinion out there just for everybody.
He said LL Cool J, Big Daddy Kane, I don't know why he said like that. And then
KRS-One, Rakim. And I mean, I'm not knocking those rappers because those are good rappers. Eminem. Those are all great rappers. I'm not knocking that. My problem is that he said like Eminem will never be in his top 5. It's like Eminem has worked his way from the problem. Like, he's had black problems. Like, I don't understand what the fuck. Like, Snoop's black and he's an OG. He's pro-black people. So, I mean, you can't expect him to put a white rapper in there because that look bad, you know? He's a black man. He can't like a white rapper. That's not okay. You can't put him in your top 10. That's not okay. I mean, he didn't suffer like Snoop Dogg, so they can't relate.
Here's Snoop Dogg's top 10. Give us your top 5. If you have a top 10, cool.
Top 5? Shit, I mean, Pac, Big, Eminem. Should I even put Dr. Dre? That nigga's heat. That nigga be sleeping on Dre. That man, like him with the beats, man. And then shit, I don't know who to get that 5th spot to, you know. But
I was gonna ask you if Drake is in your top 5, top 10,
no,
top 20.
possibly. It's a possibly. You know, Logic gets my top. He gets my 5th spot. Logic gets my. I'm not. These aren't like rated from like worst to best or like you know who. These are just in a random order, so who I can remember. But Logic, yeah, that man's prevailed. Everybody was trying to shit on Logic. I was listening to Logic when I was in like 7th grade. I got an iPod in exchange for 2 360 games, and they had like a bunch of Logic music on there. I was listening to that shit. I'm like, damn.
The two biggest underrated rappers, Logic and Jordan Lucas, to me.
Jordan Lucas not underrated though. No, who's underrated?
Finally,
no, I mean Eminem put him in his top 5 or some shit. He said, he said in his top 10. He said, or when they asked him in the interview, he was like, yeah, if you would add or take anybody away from the list, who would you add or take away? He was like, I wouldn't take away, but I would add Jordan Lucas and this and that. And I felt kind of shitty for Royce 9 Nick, but because he been with Eminem for a minute. You know, it's like I feel like that's his like right hand man. I feel like Eminem is Royce is Eminem's right hand man. So for him to not put him in his top 10, it's kind of his extended list.
It's kind of weird.
That's like it's. But I mean, I understand though. You have certain levels you want people to reach before you can put them in certain areas and categorize them. So I understand. I'm not knocking them, but
I always love picking your mind, man. I got to talk more. I don't know. I'm not good with that. But we're talking about rappers. Is Post Malone a rapper or a singer to you? And I was talking about Drake, but is Drake really a rapper?
I mean, they have rapped. Like, you have to consistently rap to be a rapper.
Yeah, that's what.
So Post Malone's not consistent. Like, I'm not gonna. I can't really speak on that. I don't listen to his music as much, but I've noticed he's really a rock star. He's really into metal and other such things like rock and shit like that. So I think he's multi-genre. I'm not gonna label him as a rapper. I'm just gonna put him as like a
artist.
Just like a musician.
I think Drake's a singing nigga.
He is an R&B ass. He's an R&B ass nigga, man.
Hey, people got their genres and shit.
I mean, shit, do what you're good at. Like, I like, Lil Wayne. Yeah, Lil Wayne was gonna be my top 5. Yeah, he takes Dr. Dre.
Yeah, I was wondering what he did.
Nah, but Lil Wayne been falling off. I ain't gonna say he falling off. He's just making different music, and it just don't vibe with me as much as his old music. I guess he's trying to change it up, but sometimes you don't got to change it up. You just got to keep that.
If you could sign one artist right now, who would it be?
Nigga, you mean if I could sign to one artist?
Yes.
Shit. Should probably Dr. Dre. If I could sign to, like, if I could get him to sign me, I'd go to him. Because I know he made Eminem, he made Game, 50 Cent. He made, I mean, he didn't make 50 Cent, but he did make 50 Cent. Because, indirectly he made 50 Cent because Eminem. But all that shit, them niggas, like, I like his flow, his ethic. It's like, that man's admirable.
Okay, so during our interview with James Lynch, we talked about Ozark. Why is it a much watch TV, Brandon? I fucked it up.
It's a must watch because it has Jason Bateman in it. He also directs it. And I mean, it's lit. Like, it's just so, like, people be getting killed in it. Like, people be getting murdered in this show. It's not like self-defense killing. It's like, you getting killed. It's like somebody shooting you or stabbing you or some shit, or they're poisoning you or some shit. It's like a bit.
Bro, when I
poisoned
saw
her husband.
when I saw that, I was like, oh shit.
I mean, he was gonna kill her though. Like, he had a knife in his pocket, and it's like it was gonna murk each other. It's like
he went to go get something to drink.
He fucked up and let her make his drink. That's what it was. Bitch can never make my drink.
we asked. I talked to you in the interview about favorite superhero. What's your favorite movie or favorite Marvel movie?
Marvel movie is Infinity War. I like Endgame, but Infinity War was just so fucking more. It was just great.
My favorite.
Like,
Infinity War. That was different.
Like, I'm not really into kid movies and shit like that, but everybody bugged me to watch that shit. And when I watched it, I was like, okay, that's nice. You gotta watch it a couple times to really set in, though.
Spider-Man Far From Home.
I'm not really into Spider-Man no more. I like Tobey Maguire. Tobey Maguire was the real dude.
He's the OG.
Yeah, he's the OS.
Who's your top Batman?
Not Ben Affleck. Who all played it was Christian Bale. I don't know. That new
Clooney.
Right, he did play a Batman. That's fucking terrible. I forgot he did that. I'd have to say like Christian Bale, I guess. In The Dark Knight, isn't that it? The Dark Knight. Yeah, I'd have to go with that.
Bro, this is a hard. I feel like this is a hard ass question, but who's a better actor, Denzel Washington or Samuel L. Jackson?
Samuel L. Jackson.
Really?
I like Denzel's movies. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking Denzel, but
Denzel's got some fucking movies.
Right, Denzel has nice movies, but he often has some fucking trying to touch you deep down movies. I don't always want to see that shit. Like, get your ass on, nigga. I don't want that. Like, I can name like 5 movies that he has done, like Fences, which is cool. I like that. I like the story. It's a cool story. It made me, it made me cry deep down inside. Like, I cried a couple tears when I saw the movie. I was like, shit, man, this is fucking deep. This is. And then, like what's it called? Like The Equalizer. Like those are both of them. Those each get their own slot. So that's 3 movies right there. Okay. What else do I got to name? This nigga just be making deep down inside movies. John Q. That was a great movie. He makes great movies. They're just so to touch home. Like, I don't need that all the time.
Like how many movies he has, and just like how The Rock just is like. The Rock's always in a goddamn movie, bro.
That fucking guy. That big motherfucker.
And they always sell the fuck out, even if they're shitty. Or none of them have really been shitty.
You're right, they haven't, because he's The Rock. I mean, Hobbs and Shaw was kind of shitty.
No, yeah, that was kind of...
That was shitty. But, like, shitty. It was a good idea, though. Like, I liked the people they had in it. Like, they had everybody to make it iconic. But,
like, if they do a sequel, they're going to have to get some shit straight.
Yeah.
I hope that's the Furious movie they have coming out.
Idris Elba.
He's good.
He won't be in it, though. So
yeah. I think it's what made it better.
Yeah, the Black Superman. That was kind of what made it great. They referred to him as Black Superman. Like, it was fucking
good. Real good. Black people that moment, they needed
empowerment.
Any upcoming Marvel movies that are coming out in Phase 5 you're looking forward to?
I don't remember the name of it, but it's that Asian guy.
I know you're talking about like the Asian guy.
Oh shit!
Shit, at least you ain't say like a Changa.
Oh, yeah, that's fucked up.
Oh, Shang-Chi? I don't know what to say.
I would not have remembered that. Oh yeah, Blade. I might want to see that. What's his name? Shang-Chi?
Shang-Chi. The face you made.
I mean, I'm not gonna fuck his name up. That's what I'm saying.
For real, fuck that shit all the way up. Yeah, they do have
Blade coming out. I want to see that Shang-Chi movie. I mean, I'm not really gonna I don't really want to see Blade though, because it's not gonna have, Wesley Snipes. I mean, if a cameo was in it, that'd be alright, but I'd like him to be Blade again. Blade was lit when he was Blade.
I'm really looking forward to that next Black Panther. I think the first one was wrong.
I never watched it. It was just so fucking hyped by black people.
Bro,
I hated that. I hate
Black Panther.
No, I didn't. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna watch it. Not until like black people stop caring about it. It's a whole fact that like all like black people all in America got hyped over that movie because they had an all black cast. Like I understand they're trying to be progressive, but
bro, it's
the fact that like black people wore African attire.
Brandon, bro.
They bought African attire to wear to the movie. To wear to the movie theaters to show their black pride. And I'm just like,
Brandon, I would never lie to you, bro.
I bet it's some heat. I bet.
No. It's like a good 7 out of 10.
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure like that's all Marvel movies. They all fall between 7 and 10.
Bro, like you might like it.
I mean, yeah,
Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
he's a good actor. I like him.
Oh, but it was weird.
You ever seen that movie Blackout? It was lit. It was about a blackout, a power outage in the summer in New York. He ended up dying in the end. Yeah. Like most of his roles, he dies.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Most of his roles.
They just be typecasting that nigga.
You ever heard what happened in Black Panther?
No, that was just, I knew he was going to die. I looked down, I was like, oh yeah, they going to murder that nigga.
Have you seen Den of Thieves?
Yeah.
That was me.
Lit movie. O'Shea Jackson Jr. 50 cent piece.
Like, my dad was like, this is good. You should watch. I was like,
yeah. It was pretty lit.
Part 2's going to be out of this world. Any TV shows you're looking forward to that are either coming back or that are on right now?
The Boys season 2 and the season 4, maybe the final season of Ozark. It's just so damn lit.
You guys know I love Chicago PD, so whenever that comes back, I guess The Flash. This is a new show, United We Fall with Will Sasso. It's good. You should watch it, Brandon. The dude's hilarious.
You said the word.
United We Fall.
United We Fall.
What?
That's
Will
a
Sasso
Netflix
got a
show?
TV show.
Oh, that's what?
It's ABC, I think.
Oh, ABC.
Oh, he really got a TV show. I thought.
It sounds decent.
Dude, it's decent. It is. It's pretty funny.
You ever seen Slasher on Netflix?
No. Shit, Ash Kutcher, I don't even know what to say for him. He's got a fucking show, The Ranch. That's me. Netflix got a bunch of fucking shows.
Yeah.
Okay, Brandon, tell me why one vote doesn't count.
Because it's the popular vote. Or no, it's what's it called?
It's
the electoral college is like what matters. We don't really influence them too much. I mean, that's the way they taught us in school. I could be wrong, but I'm just reciting what they told me to remember so I could pass a test. Is that, like, our votes are to influence the electoral college so they can elect our president. And that's why, voting doesn't seem like it works to me. I could be wrong. I'm always open to learning, but that's just what I've been taught, so that's what I know.
Are there any celebrities you don't like?
Shit. There's a few.
I'm ready to fight Draymond Green.
Why do you not like Draymond?
I ain't that nigga's a bitch.
I wouldn't say that.
I wouldn't say that.
How tall is he?
6'7"?
Right. I don't know if
hey, bro, but no cap. If Curry won the swing, bro.
Well, yeah, Curry's like 6'1", right?
6'3".
6'3".
6'3" is a problem, bro.
I thought he was like 5'10".
I might just have to go with Nate Robinson, bro.
Height.
Nate Robinson's 5'9", bro.
Isn't Nate Robinson gonna fight somebody?
Jake Paul.
Isn't
Jake Paul's like
so Nate
6'1".
Robinson. How old is Nate Robinson again?
39.
And he's fighting Jake Paul.
Who's like 23.
Is that the one that just got raided?
Yeah. Bro, Buddy's got some hands, dude.
Who, Nate Robinson?
Jake Paul.
Right.
Nate's finna go straight
you saw
to...
the guns they pulled out that man's
Yeah, he had some fucking guns.
Snapchat was lying. They had
the FBI raided this nigga and his friends.
It was real. It was real in the field, my dude. Like,
not playing with him.
At all. Like, hell no.
So, Jake's gonna sleep Nate, and then Mike's gonna sleep.
Maybe not. I don't know about that first one you said.
I
don't know. Nate's black, though. Nate, like, that automatically gives you, like, plus 10 fighting ability. So I don't...
Come on, like, get your stupid ass.
Because you got your ass whooped all your life by other black kids, so it's like, you know...
Fucking retarded. No, I mean... I'm just going to have to see some training videos, bro. Like, he like, I gotta see that speed and that power, you know. Gotta see what he's working with. Mike Tyson told us shit. Trying to fight.
Mike Tyson.
Niggas might have a heart attack in octagon. I said octagon ring.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're getting in the octagon. That might be different.
That would cool. Tyson have them 4-ounce gloves.
I think Tyson would really win in an octagon.
Bro, what if he got in the octagon, bro? 4-ounce gloves.
4-ounce gloves. I mean, that'd be savage. He would be messing these guys up.
Somebody is like going to die.
If they don't wrestle him. Yeah.
He's been wrestling with an Olympic wrestler, right?
Well, so he's just an all-around shooter now. He's an all-around player.
Gotcha. This guy could get in the UFC and do some damage.
They're not going to take him out because they know his record.
They already know what's going to happen if he signs. Okay, question of the day. Who do you look up to? Who you big fan forward to?
I don't know. Probably Tupac. He had a lot of wise things to say. I watched a lot of his interviews, and you know, he got a lot off his chest. He was spitting facts. I mean, he might have been smoking cigarettes from time to time in the videos, but you know, that just shows how real it was.
For me, I'd say Dwayne Johnson and Dana White. Yeah. Conor McGregor's always there too.
Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, Buddy just went from just a rock just to fucking something crazy.
Yeah, I feel bad his dad passed away.
Yeah. So what's wrong with this generation today, Brandon?
There's no home training.
Tell us how you feel.
I mean, it's like largely, I don't know, children are just different. Like, the music they listen to is different now. It's like, it's very influential and everybody's listening to the shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think everything's just wrong with this generation.
There's a lot wrong with this generation. Like vaping is wrong.
Like, we could do 3 podcasts of everything wrong with this fucking generation.
I mean, yeah, but there's nothing to fix it.
It's sad. Isn't it just sad to watch? My question should have been, isn't it sad to watch this? It just gets worse.
I mean, not for me. I don't care about the generation.
It's gotta only... Okay, and we're gonna end this interview with back to school tips for high schoolers.
Don't do drugs.
My first tip: do drugs.
Don't do any wild drugs. And like I don't condone anybody doing any type of drugs, and don't be vaping. But
Oh yeah, don't be vaping.
Don't punch your teachers. Don't beat them up. They didn't sign on to get beat up. Like I know they might like jump into the fight trying to be helpful, but like don't beat them up.
Don't just start swinging on them and kicking their ass.
Like please don't, because they feel really shitty after that. They gotta explain to people what happened, and like that's hard to explain that a kid whooped your ass to another adult. Like
a fucking little ass kid just started whooping your ass. I've seen too many teachers get beat up, bro.
And eat the lunch there, like that shit it'd be fire sometimes.
Shit, I've seen some kids just get their ass whooped. I don't even want to talk about the fight, but remember, you drew my lips? But just remember that if you, I don't want to say the name, but this guy who was on the wrestling team fought this other guy who used to live near us, and the guy who just couldn't fight was just talking all this shit, and the guy from the wrestling team just started whooping his ass. He dropped him like, They recorded it too.
It goes like that sometimes.
How do you take that out?
You just take it and walk away. You might have to run away if it's that bad. Or call somebody to come get you.
Oh my god. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you guys for joining us. Episode 5. Brandon, anything else to say?
Don't do drugs and don't hit women.
Hey, equal rights. Slap a bitch. If you talk crazy, slap her.
That's kind of sexy to say slap her instead of punch her. I mean, I'm not going to slap a dude. I'm going to punch a man, so I'm going to punch a woman then, right?
Just uppercut him.
Seriously, don't hit women.
Hey man, you could uppercut her for the one time.
Oh yeah, you're tripping.
We're out.